and welcome back. It's nice to see everyone again. I had to take a little time off last week, but that's another story. I'm not worrying about that. Today, it's November. It's Halloween, and that means we're that much closer to Christmas and people coming by, unexpected company, just needing quick little things that we can make up in a flash, throw in the oven, and at least offer hors d'oeuvres or snacks to them. And anyone can do chips and dips and all that stuff, but when you can make something, it just makes it that little bit more special. So today what I wanted to do was a very, very simple Stromboli. What a Stromboli is, for those who don't know, the easiest way I can describe it, it's the burrito of pizzas. What it really is more like a pinwheel sandwich that you bake. You can fill it with anything you want. You can do them with different cheeses. You could do cream cheese with jalapeno and make like a jalapeno popper almost style. I'm going to do one with one of my favorite things, and that is different sausages. So in front of me, I do have my pizza dough, but we have a little sausage board. So what I have, well, I'm just trying to get that so everyone can see. We have some German smoked sausage, which keeps trying to roll off the board. We've got some garlic sausage, garlic summer sausage. We have a little bit of that spicy sopressata and some pepperoni. All of these, regardless what they're called, are sausages. It's just how they season it and if they smoke it or cure it or what defines the flavor. So, along with that, we have some cheese, of course. And I'm going to add a little bit of that giardiniera muffaletta spread from the last time, just because let's face it, there's a lot of fat and grease in this. The vinegar and everything in there will just help cut it down. It'll add a little bit of spice, but it'll also help bring out a lot of these flavors. So it's a very, very simple thing to do, just put that aside for now so we have a bit more space. It's a very, very simple thing to make, a Stromboli, but it does just take a little bit of time and patience. So what I have here is my good old pizza dough. I made this yesterday, and I let it rise in the fridge overnight. So you can see it's really nice and soft and puffy. And just like last time, we're just going to stretch this out. This time, though, we can just worry about more getting it to a square or a rectangle. But we want... We woke up the dog if you heard the little barking in the background. So all I'm doing here is we're stretching this out. You can see there, just hand stretching it. Try to make sure the tablet doesn't go. We want it kind of thin, but it doesn't have to be perfect. You can see so far I'm not even using a rolling pin or anything. Oh, I am knocking a knife though, so that's the sound you're hearing. We're just stretching this out as we go. I'll try and move this so you can get a better view of what I'm doing. Oh, trying so this doesn't fall. I hope you can all see a little bit better now. Let's just put that aside. My oven is preheating currently. I'm just letting it go up to like 425. Because this is going to be rolled, it's going to take a little bit longer to cook. So I'm just going to give it that little extra chance by turning the temperature down. And that way I don't have to worry without everything burning. Now, I didn't put any flour or anything down on the counter here, because that's going to help it stick and stay in place. But if you want to put some down, you can. There's nothing wrong with that. I just find it works out easier this way. So we're almost all stretched out here. And now you can see what started off as just a simple ball of dough has now become this huge sheet of dough that's nice and thin. It's a little bit thicker around the edge, but that's okay because we can just cut that off. So now is when we start putting down our toppings. So we gotta have our cheese. As always, this is just a simple, low moisture mozzarella. Now, I bought this in a big piece, and then just using my food processor, I grate it, and I keep it just in a container to keep it fresh from drying out. Try not to use those pre-grated cheeses. They're super convenient. I know, I've used them before. You've seen me use them on the channel. But they just don't have that same flavor. So you're paying for convenience. You're paying for the fact that they took just a few seconds to run it through a grater, where you can do the same at home, get a better quality cheese, and save yourself some money too. So we've got all of our cheese down. Well, most of our cheese. And I'm leaving a lip all around everything. That's going to help us close it up when we're ready. And now we can start putting our meats down. There's no right or wrong way to do this. I just try and keep everything as even as I can. The oven's now ready. So, we have some of our pepperoni down. We got some of our smoked, this is the garlic salami. And we can do that just on the first half. Over here, we'll just toss down all our garlic salami, or smoked salami, smoked sausage. The dough I'm using is the same dough as always. I'll put a link to the video where we made it and the recipe. Very, very simple. You don't have to let it rest overnight like I do. It's just, it develops more flavor and it gets a lot easier to stretch out and do like I just did here. And then finally, that soppressata. Just going to add a little bit of spice, some really, really nice flavors. I've just sliced it again really, really thin and chopped it up. There we are. Now I know a lot of you are looking at this and going, yeah, but you have half the toppings on one side and half the toppings on the other. So what if I want this? Well, it's all going to be rolled up. So you're going to get tastes of it in every bite, of everything in every bite. So that doesn't really matter too much. What matters more here is that everything is fairly even. It'll just make rolling this a lot easier. And now we can put on some of that spread. And like I said last time, this is just a mix of all different pickled vegetables. A little bit of spice in there, because there's some pepperoncinis. some some saltiness from olive. It's just a little bit of everything. And honestly, you aren't even going to know. Like, you aren't going to be able to say, oh, this tastes like cauliflower. No, it just all blends together so nicely. So there we are. We're going to move that out of the way. Just give me a second while I go wash these oily hands. Okay. Now, instead of me moving the camera at this point, it's just easier for me to sort of bend over a bit. Now, one thing, obviously, you want to make sure is that your cookie sheet is wide enough for the dough you've stretched out. And you can see by this one, I went a bit small. Okay, sorry about that. It was a little bit of noise, I know, but as you can see, now we have something that's a lot bigger. It's enough to carry that because we're going to trim the sides, and it's also a lot heavier. So what that's going to allow is us to cook at that lower temperature and not burn the bottom of this. But we aren't going to cook it like this. As I said, this is a roll. So now what we do is just starting at one end, thin that out a little bit. In fact, if you want, I'm just stretching it out here a bit more, as you see. So I'm just going to take my handy knife and cut off that, thicker bit. So just start in the middle, twisting it up as we go. Do one side, then do the other. And once you have it going, I'm not twisting this super tight. I'm just twisting it so that it stays together. If you get some of the toppings that start squeezing out, don't worry about it. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting my camera's lower today. But I want you to see this. This is more important than seeing this. So I'm just rolling it, trying to keep everything as even as possible. There we go. And then what we've done here is this seam at the bottom is going to stay at the bottom. But what we can do is just give it a gentle little push, a little pinch there to help close that up. That's that. We have a stromboli. At the ends here, we do have that extra dough. Again, just with a sharp knife, can cut some of that off. There we are. I try not to go all the way to where the fillings are, because I don't want them leaking out. I want them in the stromboli, not out the sides. So we have our stromboli. Got our nice big baking sheet. And on it goes. But I'm seeing a problem. Again, I'm too long. It's not a problem. You know what? It's the holidays. So we can take this, turn it into a pinwheel, turn it to whatever we like. But those who know me know I have a bit of a sweet tooth. So I can just do a candy cane. It doesn't look like much of a candy cane, but you know what? I'm here to make food that tastes good. Food styling, not my thing. So this now, we're just going to let rest on the counter for about half an hour. We want it to come up to room temperature. We want the dough to puff up just a little bit, not a lot. What I am going to do though is I'm going to cover this with a little bit of olive oil. I'm going to sprinkle some salt, some pepper, maybe a little bit of garlic powder on there just to season that. And then once the oven is ready, we're going to bake it off at 425 for, depending on your oven, 12 to 15 minutes. Maybe a bit more, maybe a bit less. We want this nice and golden brown. It's not going to puff up too much. It will a little, but it's not going to change too much from this. But once that's done, we're going to let it sit for just a few minutes so when we cut into it, everything doesn't come pouring out. So I'm going to take care of all that off camera for now. And when we come back, you'll see the final thing, the final stromboli. We'll cut into it and we'll show you how everything looks and, of course, how good it tastes. So we'll see you all in about half an hour or so. Till then. Hello everyone, we're back. Spooky light coming from somewhere. It's just sneaking in there. I guess it's somewhat appropriate for Halloween. We'll try and move this way so it doesn't show into everything. It's been 20 minutes. We gave it a little bit longer in the oven, but we are ready. We have a stromboli and it smells so good. So there we go. Nice and golden brown. Nice crispy crust. It smells so good. I really, really wish you guys could smell this. So, of course, we've got our knife. Nice and sharp. Normally, like I said, you would let this rest for a bit. But I'm hungry. I'm impatient. And I know you guys seem to really like when I burn myself trying this stuff. So we just cut off that end piece. And here's, like I say, where a sharp knife comes in really handy. That is super hot. Now, like I said, the first cut you do, really, you're going to get just a little bit of the filling, not a lot. So you want to try and get into it. Cut it into about 1-inch pieces. I should have let this cool down just a bit. You can see all that cheese is nice and melty. And put that knife to the side. Now, if you want to serve this with some kind of dipping sauce, that's fine. You can. You could even put sauce in here. I just went more for the deli style, which is fine. You can fill this however you want. Fill it with all your favorite sandwich toppings. But as you can see there, the inside of that, you can see all the different meats. You can see the melted cheese. You can see everything. I'm kind of putting off biting into this because I know I'm going to burn myself. But part of me is also like, you're so hungry and this smells so good. But you can see that it just looks so good. That little starburst of light keeps poking out. Wish me luck. This is where we're going to get pizza mouth for sure. Mm. You get all those flavors. They all come together as one. The dough is nice and light and crisp. It's not heavy like eating a thick crust pizza or anything like that. Again, that little bit of jardinere cuts through a lot of the fat that's in there. It adds some flavor, but it helps more to bring out all the other flavors. It's more of a seasoning than a topping. So it comes out really, really well. That golden crust with the olive oil that we put on top, some salt, some pepper, a little bit of garlic, just helps to add to the flavor. But you can see here like how flaky the crust is on the bottom. So good, so simple. And when you're sharing this, excuse me, wow, I got something that was really spicy in the back of my throat there. And it just caught me off guard. But just imagine when you bring out this and you slice into it and everyone sees what's inside of there. Doesn't matter. Do your deli meats. Ham and cheese, can't go wrong. Put a little layer of mustard in there if you like mustard in your sandwiches. Do it with whatever you want. I can picture this with some roasted chicken and some vegetables like broccoli, and a little sauce would be nice in there. It could be anything you want. Simple, quick to make. Most of the time is going to be spent with your guests while this is in the oven. Or, in my case, this is going to be a great snack when it cools down and I'm catching up on some other YouTubers. But this is just the easiest way, in a way, when you think about it, to eat a pizza. It's not a pizza, but it can be. And sorry about that. It's not often I go back for 3 bites during something when I know how hot it is, but that is just so good. That gooey cheese, the taste of all the meats, that little spice from the jardiniere and the vinegar, that just helps cut everything. I really hope you give this a try. Leave in the comments, what did you fill it with? Did you do the same? Did you do something else? Give me some ideas as well. You might have a plan that I didn't even think about. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Well, it's down there, but I'm going to put an icon up here. Hit that like button and leave me a comment. Let me know that you liked this video, that you like all my videos. I have also signed up with Buy Me a Coffee. It's just a nice little way to help show your support. I'll put the link in the description below. Thank you ever so much for stopping by. Sorry again about last week, but some things happen. Enjoy. I'm going to go finish this video. I'm going to have some more of this. Have yourself a great weekend. Being Halloween, be safe. Watch out for kids on the street. And we'll see you all next time. Have a great weekend, everyone. Bye for now.